Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take a really complex set of source materials. It can be data, research, or in this case, a narrative, and we break it down into the core knowledge you need.
Right.
And today, we are immersing ourselves in a very, very focused narrative. It's all about this cosmic but also deeply personal conflict that really hinges on one single point of failure.
One man's internal control.
Exactly.
And that's our mission today. We're here to analyze the just the impossibly high stakes in this scenario. The story is focused on Ethan Cole, right? And he's wrestling with the Primus, this immense dualistic power that's literally inside of him.
All while being attacked from the outside.
At the same time, but we're not really here for the plot twists. We want to extract the universal themes, the power of choice, this mechanism of internal resistance, and what the source material is really trying to say about the meaning of true power.
It's this ultimate high fantasy setup where the stakes are, eternal, but the deciding factor is just human. So the core question for our deep dive, and for you listening, is this. What happens when the fragile, temporary human heart collides with a power that is fundamentally cosmic and eternal?
A good place to start is right at ground zero, that moment of absolute peak internal chaos.
Yeah.
What's so fascinating is how the source material treats this conflict. It's not just psychological. It's not in his head. It's a physical, energetic event that you can see.
You can literally see it. We get this raw, volatile visual. His body is trembling. Energy is just leaking out of him into the environment. And this is the critical part. His eyes are glowing, flickering back and forth between blue and white.
It's not a metaphor.
Not at all. It's the physical sign that two completely opposed consciousnesses are fighting for the driver's seat. Blue and white.
Yeah.
You have chaos versus control. Human will versus this cosmic instinct.
And the Prime's voice, its presence, introduces this sort of brutal primal logic. Its mandate is just pure survival. It's you exist to protect or destroy, choose or perish. It's simple.
Binary.
It's completely binary. It offers structure, but only through overwhelming force, which, raises this core philosophical question. Is power without morality, is that always just destined for chaos, for entropy?
Well, that seems to be the argument here, because Ethan's response isn't about fighting the power head on. It's about resisting its mandate. You get that small human whisper in his head, I don't want to hurt anyone.
And that's it. That's the anchor.
That's the whole point of resistance. That's the moral line in the sand against a cosmic imperative.
Which is where Alira comes in. She's the crucial grounding element in all of this. Her instruction really defines the central thesis of the entire story. She says, you are still Ethan Cole. You are still human. Use your heart, not the power.
So is that just good advice, or is it actually pragmatic?
Well, that's the thing we have to ask. Is it philosophical, or is she seeing that the sheer energy output, the leaking, and the uncontrolled surge is just self-destructive? That identity itself is the only thing that can act as a containment field.
I think you've hit on something really important there. It's not just about what's morally right, it's about what's physically sustainable. The volatility is a byproduct of these two incompatible frequencies, Human fragility trying to process this raw, eternal energy.
Right.
So Alira telling him to use his heart is effectively telling him to install a human operating system onto the Prime's hardware.
To prevent a meltdown, a complete system failure. And if you think about it, that volatility, that internal crisis, it acts like a flare. It's a beacon. As soon as it peaked, it drew the external threat.
The Wardens.
The Wardens. It basically signals to the universe that the Prime is active, but more importantly, it's uncontrolled.
And this is where it all escalates so fast. The Wardens show up, and it forces Ethan to turn all that internal chaos outward. The defense he puts up it's jaw-droppingly powerful. A shield flares up, it's reflecting blasts, ships are just exploding.
And even someone experienced, like Cirrus, she sees this and just gasps. Incredible.
Yeah.
He's controlling it. But what's so interesting about that reaction is that the control is only relative.
It's a spectacular mess.
Exactly. It's a spectacular mess. It works tactically, but narratively, it's a huge red flag.
Right, because that unstable display of power is what immediately triggers the real escalation. The next threat isn't another ship. It's this massive, unexpected pulse that just shoots through the air.
Shakes the trees for miles. It's a communication from the cosmic source itself.
Yeah.
And that pulse is the magnitude shift. Ethan knows it instantly. He says, the core, it's responding to me, to the link. Now, for context, the source material defines the link as this metaphysical tether between the Prime, the power, and the human realm.
So by using the power, he's basically flipped a switch. He's activated the link, and called its ancient guardian.
He's rang the dinner bell, and the tone just shifts completely. It goes from this intense battle to existential dread in a second. Alira realizes something's coming, bigger than the wardens.
And that's what makes Ethan human again. Despite having these glowing suns for eyes, he's just terrified. He admits it. I'm not ready.
That reminds you, there's a person inside all that power who is scared of what he's unleashed.
And that vulnerability is the perfect setup for the arrival of the ultimate test.
The core guardian.
The core guardian itself.
And the description of this arrival is meant to be terrifying. It's all about emphasizing the difference between human scale and cosmic scale. You read about this massive shadow falling, wings of pure energy stretching across the entire sky.
Eyes like twin suns.
Yeah, and a voice that's deeper than any thunder. You don't just hear it, you feel it. And the Guardian immediately frames the whole conflict. This is eternal law versus human impertinence. Its challenge is so direct. You dare awaken the prime. You, a human, are not meant to carry this power.
So it sees him as a mistake, a violation of the natural order.
A complete violation. In his view, human life is too fragile, it's too fleeting, and frankly too morally inconsistent to be trusted with an eternal force.
And its first attack isn't an energy bolt. It's psychological. It's history used as a weapon. This overwhelming wave of memory just hits Ethan.
Yeah.
We're talking visions of ancient guardians fighting across galaxies, cities rising and falling, all the lives lost to the Prime's previous wielders.
It's a trial by scale. It's designed to just crush a human mind under the sheer weight of all that cosmic trauma. It forces him to see the destructive cycle that the Prime has been a part of for millennia.
And he staggers. He just groans.
Yeah.
Too much. I can't take all of this. Which makes you wonder, right? Can the human capacity for empathy, for memory, even integrate that kind of galactic scale without just breaking?
It seems like it can't. Not without an anchor. And that brings us to the critical turning point in Section 4, because even as he's drowning in this history, Alira is still his anchor.
She blends her own energy, her glow, with his. She's transferring this calming energy to him. But how does that even work? Is it literal, or is it more like she's just forcing him to focus on the here and now?
I think it's both. She gives him that one crucial instruction: focus on us, on what you feel, not the power itself. She's forcing a cognitive separation between the source of the trauma, the Prime's memory, and the reason he's fighting.
For her, for Earth.
Right, and that localized, sustained support is what allows him to take that necessary cognitive leap.
And that leap is a declaration of identity. He just rejects being defined by the power. I'm not just a vessel. I'm me, and I choose how this power is used. Why was that statement so critical?
Because the Prime, being this dualistic, eternal thing, it needs a single, consistent will to pilot it. Until that moment, Ethan was just a container fighting its contents. By declaring his identity, his choice, he's creating the cognitive boundary he needs to integrate the power without being completely erased by it. That affirmation is what lets the energy finally stabilize.
And the visual result is profound. The chaotic blue energy, it stops leaking everywhere and it shifts. It starts forming these intricate symbols in the air.
It's the manifestation of control. It's like human logic and will, when you apply them to raw cosmic force, create a new kind of language, a geometric ordered language.
He's not fighting it anymore. He's merging with it.
He's piloting it. He is offering balance, not through submission, but through integration. And this shift is so huge, it makes the core guardian actually hesitate. Its form changes, it becomes almost humanoid, and its voice loses that thunderous edge.
Why humanoid, though?
Because balance requires a form that can be understood. The Guardian is forced to recognize this impossible thing in front of it. You are a paradox, human yet eternal, perhaps. You are the balance we sought.
So it's not a victory of firepower.
Not at all. It's a victory of philosophy. This ancient cosmic law has to acknowledge that the newest life form in the equation has introduced a concept it was missing.
Morally driven restraint.
Exactly. The old order yields to a new potential. And that acceptance is what paves the way for the resolution.
So the end result of all this transformation is Ethan's new resolve. It's serene, it's calm, and his decree sets the new moral code for this cosmic entity he's become. I will protect Earth, but I will not hurt anyone to prove it.
He uses the power to end the conflict, not to win it through more destruction.
And that moral choice has immediate practical effects. Even Cirrus, who is torn between her loyalty to the core of what she was seeing, she steps in. She helps stabilize the energy field.
Right, her whole perspective shifts. She admits humans are stronger than I thought and realizes that even loyalty has limits when you're faced with true moral power.
The implications are just huge.
Mhm.
They're planetary and cosmic. The Guardian, before it leaves, it sends this final echoing message. Earth is acknowledged, the human heart is accepted, the link shall endure, but the balance must be preserved.
So this isn't just a truce, it's the establishment of a new cosmic operating principle. Human moral choice is now the key variable for universal equilibrium.
Wow.
And the final observation from the source material just seals it. These distant, unseen observers record everything. The human has awakened fully, prepare to watch closely. He may change everything.
So the narrative ends with the link in perfect balance. Cosmic power is now being piloted by the focused moral integrity of a human heart, for protection and for freedom.
Which is the ultimate takeaway from this deep dive. The true defining power was never the raw energy of the Prime. It was Ethan's refusal to give in to its destructive nature.
It was the restraint, the intentionality, and the support of his friends that made all the difference.
The whole story suggests that even the most immense, eternal force has to be defined, has to be piloted, and ultimately restrained by the fragile, temporary force of human choice, of the human heart.
The paradox is solved by its smallest component.
The human.
And that leaves us with a really compelling final thought to consider. We're told the Prime now sleeps peacefully, waiting to awaken only if the world truly needed him again. So if the human heart has successfully integrated this cosmic power, what does that say about our responsibility to maintain that balance? And maybe more importantly, what specific circumstances, what kind of world-ending threat would it take to actually necessitate that balanced but still immense cosmic power being unleashed ever again?
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are jumping straight in, no easing into it. We're looking at what the source material calls a zero-tolerance, high-stakes moment of cosmic convergence.
Exactly. We're not just summarizing a chapter here. We're analyzing the immediate fight out from this catastrophic awakening inside that ancient structure they call the vault.
Right. And our mission, for you listening, is to really unpack this. The energy surge that just forcibly awakened the core inside, well, a human vessel named Ethan Cole.
And it's so much more than one person changing. This is basically an unintentional declaration of war. We need to define what exactly was awakened and why the galaxy's response was so immediate and so violent.
So before we get into the play-by-play, let's just quickly set the stage. We've got Ethan Cole, the involuntary host.
You've got the core, which is this ancient power source, but is also a consciousness. And then the big one, Guardian Prime.
The historical figure whose memories are about to just consume Ethan. So let's track these moments, the ones that turn a man into a conduit for something older than Earth itself.
It all kicks off in pure chaos. The sources are really clear on this. Alira is frantically trying to reach him, but Ethan's he's losing it, shouting things like, "I can't, it's too much."
And the energy is going haywire. It's not just the power grid, it's the actual structure of the vault that's destabilizing.
Yeah, and Linger shifts gears. She goes from trying to rescue him to just trying to stabilize the whole system using these really complex alien commands at the console.
But it's already too late. The narrative confirms it, right? The system had already passed that point of no return.
It had. The machine took over, and that's when you see the huge shift. Ethan's distressed. Human voice is just gone.
Replaced.
Completely. Becomes calm, resonant, unnaturally deep. And it says, Guardian Protocol restored.
Followed by core link established. That's the machine declaring sovereignty over the man. It's chilling.
And then comes the physical change. He collapses. But when he opens his eyes,
they're glowing. Pure blue light. No pupils, no whites, just light. And his voice now has two tones. One human, one something else.
And the first message is, the core is awake, and it remembers.
And what does it remember? That's where the vault itself gives us the answer, bathing the whole room in these red alert lights.
And that mechanical ancient voice booms out. Unauthorized activation detected. Guardian Prime has returned.
The lore here is just immense. Prime wasn't just some powerful guardian, it was the architect of the first galactic tenuous truce, eons ago.
So his return isn't just starting a fight. It's legally breaking an ancient peace agreement. That's the key.
So the Wardens aren't just reacting to a power surge. It's a political destabilization event.
Exactly. And we see that confirmation from orbit. Ceres is in her ship, sees the beacon, and her first report is, confirmed energy surge, the Prime is reborn. alert the warden.
The universe just got a notification that all treaties are off.
Pretty much.
Okay, let's pause there. Because the alarm has sounded outside, but inside, there's this battle happening for Ethan's mind. Alira's still pleading with him, right? You are not him. You are Ethan Cole. Fight it.
But the Prime, or whatever is speaking through him, suggests there was never a choice. It just says, the Prime never dies. It only waits for a vessel.
So it's not possession. It's more like technological transference. The Prime's consciousness needs a compatible neural network to operate.
It's an ancient technological parasite, basically. And it has to be compatible.
A technological requirement. So what are the criteria? Does the source material give us any hints?
It implies a sort of resonance. We see the vault itself confirming this. It's activating in response to him, not to Alira's commands at the console.
And holograms start appearing. Alien worlds, forgotten battles. It's recognizing its master.
And when Alira tries to get back in, the system just flat out rejects her. Access locked Guardian Prime override.
So Ethan is, for all intents and purposes, the new admin of this entire ancient structure.
And the Prime uses that new authority to spell out the stakes. It warns Alira, this world is unprepared. And then the war that ended among the stars will begin here.
A war which was, we have to stress, galactic-level devastation.
Right, so Alira, desperate, uses the link to connect with him. And just to clarify for everyone, the link isn't telepathy. The sources call it a neural bridge. It's for rapid data exchange.
And the data she gets back is just horrifying.
It's a flash of memory. A battlefield in the void of space, thousands of Guardians falling, and then a single towering figure of light. The Prime.
Standing alone against a storm of machines, and then nothing. Darkness.
And that flash gives her the answer, the compatibility theory. Ethan wasn't an accident. The Corps found him because he was compatible.
Which raises a terrifying question. If Ethan was compatible, could there be millions of others out there?
That's the implicit threat. It means the Wardens aren't just fighting one man in a forest. They're trying to prevent a potential global or galactic epidemic of Prime reawakenings.
And just as she has that realization, they hear it. A hollow explosion. The Wardens are here.
Their first command, through Sirius's comms, is key. Contain the vault. The Prime must not escape. The objective is containment.
But the Warden immediately escalates, doesn't he? When Sirius resists, he says, then we will bury the entire site.
Preservation of the planet is secondary. Containment is everything.
So as the Wardens breach, the vault itself, now controlled by Prime, starts helping them escape, opening doors ahead, sealing them behind.
It's an act of defense. And this is where we see Ethan's first raw use of this power. It's instinct. Turrets unfold from the walls.
Vault internal defenses, probably.
Right. But before they can even fire, Ethan just raises a hand. A blue barrier forms and deflects every shot.
And you get that little flicker of humanity from him right after. He says, guess near-death lessons work. He's still in there, still joking.
They get to the heart of the complex. This huge circular chamber with the true heart floating in the middle. A sphere of pure light. The Prime's consciousness.
And this forces Alira to make an impossible choice.
Their plan is desperate. Destroy the sphere, break the link, save Ethan.
But Ethan, feeling this power now, asks the one question she can't answer. But if we destroy it, will I die too?
Her admitting she doesn't know is just devastating. But she makes the cold, tactical call. If the Wardens capture you, everyone dies.
And then the ceiling just explodes. The Warden descends in this crimson armor, which the sources say is less like armor and more like a walking orbital weapons platform.
The confrontation is immediate. The Warden demands Ethan step away. But Ethan's response shows how far gone he is. He just says, too late, it already chose me.
Then the Warden opens fire, and that brings us to Sirius's choice. She followed the Warden in, but she goes to Alira.
She warns her. The Prime's energy is unstable. It's going to consume him completely.
And in this critical moment of loyalty, she launches this surge of violet energy, not at Ethan, but to distract the Warden.
A very specific, focused attack. It buys them seconds. That's all they need.
Alira screams at Ethan to push his energy into the sphere, not to destroy it, but to stabilize himself, to try and fuse with it.
And in this, flash of desperate hope, he reaches out and touches the heart.
The wave of light is just absolute. It vaporizes the entire vault. When it clears, there's just a crater of smoke and glowing dust.
But the destruction is secondary. The real consequence is the signal. A massive blue beam shoots from the crater into the sky.
Broadcasting on every frequency imaginable. Guardian Prime reactivated. It's a targeted intergalactic broadcast.
Every satellite, every alien sensor in this arm of the galaxy just lit up. The dormant weapon is now active.
And we see Ethan's new form. He's hovering, eyes glowing white-blue, radiating energy. He looks human, but he moves differently. Smarter, older, ancient.
And the two voices are one now, synthesized. He says, I am the Link now, but I am still me, I think.
That, I think, is everything. It's the last piece of his human self struggling to stay in control.
He demonstrates that control, sending a wave of wind that just knocks Alira back, but it's contained.
But that little demonstration is cut short, because the galactic response is here now. The sky just goes dark.
Hundreds of black, sleek ships, they just blot out the sun. And the warden's voice is amplified across the entire forest. Contain him. Do not let the Guardian escape Earth.
The war is here. It has officially arrived.
And the final image we're left with is Ethan, this glowing figure shielding the forest. Rocks are floating, trees are bending and snapping from the sheer force of his presence.
He's trying to hold the line, but the Prime's voice overrides his thoughts one last time, declaring the final state of things.
You cannot hide. You are the Guardian now. Your human limits are gone.
That's it. The transition is complete. Ethan Cole isn't just a person anymore. He's a vessel, a link to an ancient war, and an accidental beacon that just shattered a galactic peace treaty.
His human limits. Physical, mental, even ethical. They're just gone. Dissolved.
We literally watched a technological baptism trigger an immediate full-scale military mobilization. The focus isn't on his internal struggle anymore.
No, it's about the external war that he now has to fight with powers he barely understands.
Against a force that wants him contained or just erased. It's just an incredible pivot from a fight in a tunnel to an orbital siege in minutes. So that leaves a final thought for you to chew on. Given that Prime's memory involves a massive ancient war and the fall of thousands of Guardians, what tactical failures, what inevitable sacrifices has Ethan Cole just inherited? And how quickly will his remaining humanity be extinguished by the power he needs to fight the fleet descending on Earth right now?
Something to think about as that first battle begins.
Thanks for diving deep with us.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we've got a fantastic stack of source material detailing what has to be the most abrupt and just catastrophic first contact scenario you can imagine.
Yeah, this isn't some slow burn invasion story.
Not at all.
Yeah.
This is about how one ordinary man's curiosity in a single night places him right at the center of this ancient, brutal intergalactic war.
Exactly. We're getting into a really tight chronological narrative that focuses entirely on one man, Ethan Cole. The sources just map it out beat by beat. An ordinary night in a sleepy town called Redvale that gets, well, completely overwritten.
Violently overwritten.
It's a textbook case of how one simple choice can, lock you into an irreversible destiny.
So our mission today is to track the sudden activation of this powerful, mysterious energy that the sources call the Link. We want to analyze the lore, the rules, and the power itself.
You're basically getting the shortcut today on the technical side of this connection.
And its immediate deadly consequences.
Ah.
And maybe most importantly, this terrifying cosmic paradox it creates.
To start, you really have to understand Ethan Cole. The sources hammer this home. He is aggressively ordinary.
Right. He's not a prepper. He's not some fringe conspiracy guy.
No, just a man who loved space. He had this old telescope he'd take out every night, just hoping to see something new. And that curiosity, it's the catalyst for everything, but it's also his biggest liability.
And the atmosphere on that night really sets the stage. Redvale is dead quiet. The stars are almost too bright. And there's this weird metallic scent in the air.
Yeah, and then he sees it.
A flash of bright green light, faster than any meteorite. But here's the detail that changes everything. It doesn't just fall.
No, it stops.
It stops midair, zigzags, and then just vanishes behind the forest.
That erratic flight path is the whole key, isn't it? It screams intelligence, not space junk. So Ethan, driven by that simple wish to see something near, he just grabs a jacket and heads into the woods.
And the whole environment just shifts. It gets cold, misty. The sources describe the trees as whispering around him. And he finds it pretty quick. A small spacecraft, maybe the size of a car, half buried in the dirt. There are sparks, a faint blue light, and you can almost feel this low, humming energy.
And when the hatch opens, it's not some monster, some, robotic horror.
No, it's a girl. Or a girl-like figure, Alira. The contrast is it's so stark. Ethan in his normal clothes, and then her with his soft, glowing silver skin and hair like shimmering light.
And that flexible metal uniform, the cultural gap is it's a chasm right from the first second. She confirms her name and then she asks, planet Earth.
Right, confirming it was an accident. She wasn't supposed to be here.
And she's completely alien to human norms. Ethan gives her an old hoodie to cover up her glow, and she looks at the fabric like it's some kind of...
Strange technology.
Exactly, like she's totally baffled by a piece of cotton.
And her movement. The sources mention it over and over. She's silent. She almost floats.
Which brings us to this amazing moment of, like, accidental comedy. He tries to introduce her to human culture by putting on a TV show.
A sitcom, of all things.
Right, and there's a scene, a throwaway gag, where a girl sits on a boy's lap, and Alira just stops. She's completely focused on it.
And this is where it all pivots. From observation to catastrophe. She asks him, completely seriously, if this is a common human ritual.
And then he just laughs it off, says, humans do silly things. He completely dismisses the question.
Which is the single biggest mistake he could have possibly made.
Because what happens next is just total cultural miscommunication with universe-altering consequences.
She just looks at him with these curious green eyes, and then she does it. She sits right down on his lap, just trying to imitate what she saw.
And the reaction is instantaneous and violent.
Yeah, this isn't some slow power-up. The air pulses with blue light, all the lamps in the house flicker and die, and this heavy, low hum just fills the room.
And Ethan feels it, a brutal rush of energy through his chest. The sources describe it as something inside him, something locked, being violently unlocked.
And then the marks appear. Symbols glowing on his arms and neck, identical to the ones on her ship. This is it. This is the involuntary cosmic initiation.
Alira leaps off him. She is terrified. She tells him he's activated the link.
The connection between my kind and our chosen guardian.
And she stresses this part. It's supposed to be impossible. It cannot be forced. Now, the sources give us this key bit of analysis on the link itself. It seems to be less of a tech thing and more biological.
A dormant trigger.
Exactly. A dormant biological trigger her race carries, but it needs really close physical proximity to activate. It's a terrifying ancient design flaw they just never considered.
Which implies some kind of biological compatibility with humans, right? Or maybe everything. But the system is supposed to choose a guardian.
But the choice is made for it. The confirmation comes right after the lights go out.
And it's not a voice in the room, which makes it so much more chilling.
No, it's a deep, authoritative voice that echoes inside both of their minds.
Guardian link confirmed.
And then just silence, broken only by Alira's whisper, which sums up the whole paradox of the situation. You weren't supposed to exist.
Okay, let's unpack that.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to exist.
Yeah.
If we dig into the lore, those marks on Ethan identify him with the Protectors. These are ancient beings chosen to guard her civilization.
So for the link to pick an ordinary guy like Ethan, it suggests a massive failure in the selection process.
Or that the rules have changed, that something fundamental in the universe has shifted. Who is even eligible to be a guardian? It turns this whole thing from a rescue mission into a potential timeline breach.
And the consequences aren't just, metaphysical, they're physical right away.
Yeah.
The link gives Ethan enhanced abilities. His senses sharpen so much he can hear the electricity humming inside the walls.
And even crazier, he can feel the vibration, the specific frequency of her crashed ship miles away. He's keyed into its energy signature now.
But that new frequency, that massive energy spike, it acts like a beacon, doesn't it?
A very loud one. They don't get a single moment to process what's happened.
No. That internal voice confirms the link, and that signal just screams across space. A loud bang shakes the whole house, windows rattle, and this deep rumble rolls through the ground. Something very fast and very hostile just hit the atmosphere.
Alira just snaps from horrified guest to, military commander. She touches a symbol on her wrist. A hologram map projects into the air.
And there they are. 3 red dots closing in. Fast.
She calls them hunters.
And the sources are really specific about what these hunters are. They aren't just an army. Think of them more like a high-frequency energy cleanup crew.
Specialized trackers.
Their mission isn't conquest, it's neutralization. They track that massive energy spike from the link's activation, and they will destroy anything in their path to contain what they see as an anomaly.
Meaning to contain Ethan.
He is the anomaly. He's not just linked to her anymore. He's the #1 target of a cosmic containment protocol.
And this brings us to the most brutal rule of the entire link system.
Alira just lays it out for him. The link cannot be broken now, she says. Wherever I go, you must go too.
And the biological codependency is absolute. Their lives are fused. If one of us dies, the other will too.
I mean, can you imagine? An accidental seating arrangement has led to codependent intergalactic flight from a team of specialized killers.
It's insane. So they rush out into the cold night, And they don't even go for her ship. They have to rely on the most human thing possible.
Ethan's old pickup truck.
And Alira's reaction to it is so telling. She just looks at it with total fascination and asks, "You travel in this?"
It's the perfect little moment showing the insane gap between their worlds, and yet now they're completely dependent on his slow, simple tech.
They peel out, driving as fast as they can, but that link energy is a homing beacon they can't turn off. Behind them, 3 black shapes just glide silently over the trees.
They're not just following, they're closing the distance fast. And the hunters are ruthlessly efficient.
One of the ships fires. It's not a direct hit, it's a bright pulse, like a targeted energy shockwave.
Throws the truck completely off balance, it spins out into a ditch and crashes hard into the trees. And just like that, running is off the table.
After the crash, everything shifts again. Alira isn't scared anymore. She's just intensely focused. All her race's survival instincts are firing. She tells Ethan there's only one way and he has to trust her.
This is the moment Ethan goes from being a passive conduit to an active channel. Alira tells him the key to their survival. You are the link. Your body can channel my power. Together we might survive.
His only function now is to be the human wire for her alien energy.
And she doesn't waste a second. She grabs his hand, places her other hand on his chest, right where he felt that first unlocking sensation.
And the result is it's a massive, uncontrolled explosion of blue energy. It literally cracks the ground around them. The marks on Ethan's body just ignite, glowing brighter than ever.
This energy forms a shield, a powerful blue shield, and just in time, the first hunter drone fires a beam of red light.
And it just hits the shield and bounces off, harmlessly. Suddenly, this guy is holding back cosmic weaponry with no training at all.
And he can't handle it. He's shouting, "I can't hold it!" The power is just too much for a normal human body.
And this is where the core philosophy of the Guardians comes out. Alira yells the key instruction at him. It's not about fighting back, it's not about aggression.
No, it's about his mindset. She yells, "You must focus. Think of protecting, not fighting."
That distinction is so profound. It suggests the link power, the protector's power, isn't for destruction. It's for defense. Impenetrable defense.
Exactly. The protectors weren't meant to be soldiers, they were meant to be shields. Immovable guardians. Ethan has to internalize that rule to survive.
And when he does, when he focuses only on protecting, the shield instantly gets stronger, brighter, more stable.
And Alira confirms it. You are doing it, Ethan. You are controlling the link. In a single night, the curious astronomer becomes an active guardian.
Defending his life, her life, using a power he never asked for, against enemies he can't even begin to understand.
And that speed, the severity of that change, that's the real takeaway here. Ethan's life, as he knew it, was over the second she sat on his lap. The learner, the guy looking out the stars, was instantly flipped into the protector, the one forced to build a wall against the universe.
A complete inversion. We've tracked the arrival, the accidental trigger of a world-spanning power, and the immediate arrival of interstellar assassins. For Ethan Cole, knowledge became survival, linking his fate forever to an alien he just met.
And it all comes back to that chilling paradox. You weren't supposed to exist.
If the link is a system that has chosen specific protectors for eons, what massive timeline-altering event must have happened in the past? An ancient war, a dimensional shift, something that fundamentally changed who is even eligible to become a guardian.
Making the choice of this specific ordinary human from a backwater town, not just an accident.
But a profound cosmic paradox. It suggests the rules of the universe they thought they knew have been broken, or maybe rewritten. A serious question to think about. What kind of cosmic anomaly does Ethan Cole's existence truly represent? Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the unexpected Guardian.
We'll see you next time.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, you are right in the middle of a galactic catastrophe. We're talking ancient alien laws, sudden biological transformation, and a desperate race for survival.
That's right. The sources we're looking at today, they drop us right into the fire. A human, Ethan, has just formed this impossible link with an alien named Alira.
And now the Zanari Empire's most feared enforcers are literally on their doorstep.
So our mission isn't just to recap what happened, it's to really get into the weeds.
We need to figure out why this link is so forbidden, what is actually happening to Ethan's DNA, and what does this hidden Guardian tech on Earth even mean for the rest of the cosmos?
We're dealing with some really intense source material here. Confrontations, big reveals, a terrifying climax.
Well, let's not waste any time.
Okay, so the danger is immediate. Picture it. The ground starts shaking, but it's not an earthquake. A ship descends, a massive one, and it just blots out the sky. Alira, she knows instantly who it is.
The warden.
The warden.
Yeah.
Leader of the hunters. Basically the top cop for the whole Zanari empire.
And he's not there to talk. The sources, they describe this armored, masked figure, and he delivers the accusation like a death sentence.
And it all hangs on this one ancient law.
No being may link with a human.
That one line. The political weight of that is just staggering. It's not a parking ticket, you know? It's treated like an existential threat to their entire way of life.
And Alira's defense is...
The link chose him, not me, which gets completely dismissed.
Right. It's like for the Zanari, intent doesn't even matter. The fact that the bond exists at all is a capital crime.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, why humans? Are we too weak? Or
maybe too volatile, too unpredictable to handle that kind of power.
Exactly. And we don't get an answer because the warden just skips right to annihilation. He raises his hand, this beam of red light shoots out.
But this is the moment everything changes.
Ethan, who's still just trying to process what's happening, he instinctively throws up his hands.
And this blue shield appears. The source says it's stronger this time.
And the mechanics of that shield are fascinating. It doesn't just block the blast.
No, not at all. It absorbs the energy, it sucks in that red light, and then boom, just sends it right back at the warden.
The explosion rips through the area, and it forces the warden, this ultimate enforcer, to actually retreat.
I mean, can you imagine? But as he's leaving, he shouts just one word at Ethan.
Guardian.
Guardian. And Alira confirms it later. She says what he did. It's impossible. No human has ever done that.
Right. So this brings up a really critical point about who these wardens actually are.
They weren't always like this.
No. Originally, they were supposed to be peacekeepers, you know, maintaining balance in the empire. But Alira reveals that this warden, the one they just faced, he serves a darker order.
A splinter faction.
Exactly. And they aren't interested in balance. They want control. Specifically, control over the ancient Guardian technology that Ethan is now, well, hosting in his body.
So Ethan didn't just break a law. He accidentally turned himself into the most sought-after weapon in the galaxy.
And the price for that miracle defense is immediate. The sources are pretty brutal about it. He just collapses. His body is burning, aching, as if lightning had passed through his veins.
He's a biological fuse that's just been lit.
And there's only one choice. They have to run.
Yeah.
Alira says, until you learn what you have become. Okay, so let's pivot and unpack that. This link. It gives him this incredible power, but it's also, you know, tearing him apart from the inside. What is this biological rewrite?
Alira explains it's not like learning a skill. It's a deep involuntary merger. Her words are, Guardian DNA merges with yours.
So it's like trying to run brand new, incredibly powerful software on old, incompatible hardware.
That's a great way to put it. His human body is the old hardware. The power boost is amazing. Strength, speed, awareness. But the energy surge he used against the warden, that just overloaded the whole system.
And then there's the really terrifying part. The bond is absolute. It binds your life to mine.
Yeah, if she dies, he dies, period.
It's not just a political alliance. It's a shared biological destiny. Just triples the stakes of their escape.
So with this clock ticking, they find shelter. An old cabin protected by some kind of signal-blocking device, and Alira starts this crash course.
And she's very clear. This isn't about brute force.
No, she says the link responds to intent, not anger. It's a language, a rhythm that he has to feel, not force.
It's a really interesting insight into how this alien tech works. It's about emotional control, about focus.
And he struggles at first, but you can see he's learning. He manages a small shield, and more than that, he starts developing this psychic tether to her. He can feel her fear, her warmth.
You start to feel a little bit of hope. Maybe he can do this. Maybe he can master it.
And that's exactly when that hope gets shattered.
The protective barrier around the cabin just buzzes, and a flash of green light.
And there's Cirrus, Alira's twin sister, violet skin, gold eyes, and one crucial detail.
She works for the wardens.
Oof, what a betrayal. And she's not just there for a reunion, she drops an absolute bombshell.
That shield Ethan used, that massive display of power.
It sent a signal, a huge energy spike that went straight to the core.
The core being what, exactly?
Think of it like a cosmic monitoring network. Ancient Zanari tech. It's not really sentient, but it's tracking every major energy fluctuation, every use of Guardian technology.
So, by saving his own life, Ethan basically rang a dinner bell for every power-hungry faction in the galaxy.
And then Cirrus delivers the real twist, the curse. She says the link is fatal.
She's not just speculating either.
No, she brings proof. Her warning is chilling. When the link stabilizes, it consumes the weaker host. She says this is recorded Zanari truth.
No human can contain guardian power for long.
And to really drive it home, she projects this hologram. The sources describe it in horrifying detail. A human figure just filled with these glowing blue veins of energy literally burning from the inside out. Total biological failure.
Which raises the biggest question of all. If the Zanari know this is fatal for humans, why did Alira do it? Did she think she was the exception?
Or was Cirrus lying, using a kernel of truth to manipulate them for her own ends?
We don't have time to figure that out because Cirrus's warning, it hits home physically.
Right away, his deterioration just speeds up. He stumbles, clutching his chest. That warmth he felt is now a flaring pain.
And the marks on his arms, the ones Alira called rivers of light.
They're spreading, creeping up his neck. His body is actively rejecting the energy now, and their clock is down to minutes.
So Alira has to go for a Hail Mary. She needs to find some way to stabilize this energy before it kills him.
And there's only one option she can think of. A guardian vault hidden beneath your planet's surface.
And this is a huge moment for the listener, right? Our Earth isn't just some random backwater planet they're hiding on.
Not at all. Alira confirms the Zanari were here long, long ago. They left things behind. Pieces of the core, she says. Our planet is this forgotten nexus of ancient alien technology.
And the goal at this vault, it's terrifyingly simple.
Yeah, Alira's very direct about it. The vault can either stabilize your link or destroy it completely.
Salvation or annihilation.
Yeah.
No in between.
So they get there, and the place is strange. The whole environment feels wrong. The trees have black, smooth bark. The ground itself seems to be pulsing with energy.
And then the entrance reveals itself. This huge metallic door covered in glowing runes just rises up out of the soil.
You can just feel the ancient power. They hurry down, the air gets thick with energy, and they find the center of the chamber.
The heart of the vault.
Yeah.
A big floating blue crystal.
And the climax is just instantaneous. The second Ethan gets close to it, the glowing marks on his skin flare up, brighter than the crystal itself.
The vault recognizes him. Or maybe it recognizes the power inside him.
It reacts so fast, Alira can't do a thing. The crystal just explodes in this blinding white light that completely surrounds Ethan.
He screams, the energy floods him, it lifts his body right off the ground, and then he sees visions.
Impossible visions. Cities made of light, alien stars, and strange beings bowing before a figure that looked like him.
Okay, so let's just quickly pull all the threads together from this absolutely frantic deep dive. We've established the link is a lethal biological rewrite that needs immediate stabilization.
We've confirmed that Earth has this crucial hidden role as a storehouse for ancient Zanari tech.
And we see how fractured the Zanari Empire is. You've got Alira on the run, you've got the Warden's Darker Order,
Yeah.
and then you have the calculating Cirrus, who might be telling the truth.
Right, so what does it all mean for Ethan now? The fact that this instability led to this violent transformation, not instant death, it makes you question what Cirrus said.
Did she lie?
Well, maybe not an outright lie, but did she mislead them? Maybe she knew the link wasn't inevitably fatal, but that trying to stabilize it was so risky, so volatile, that she wanted to prevent it at all costs.
To stop something even more powerful from being unleashed.
Exactly. And that really brings us to our final provocative thought for you to chew on.
That last vision, all those strange alien beings bowing down to a figure that looked just like him.
So was that real? Was that a genuine glimpse into a possible future where he becomes the first human to actually master this power and become this figure of cosmic importance?
Or was it all a trick, a final deceptive image projected by the Vault, to seduce him into completing the link, hinting that the true purpose of a guardian-human bond isn't just about survival,
but about creating a new, powerful, and maybe, just maybe, a very dangerous type of sovereign being. Something for you to think about as his body starts to drift back down to the cold stone floor.